Today is the day we celebrate one of nature's greatest gifts to humanity, water. This transparent, tasteless, odorless, and almost colorless element is an essential fluid for all forms of life. So in today's program, we talk water. Stay right there.
Don't make diseases spread. Wash your hands with soap and water instead. Wash them regular or use a hand sanitizer. Make sure the germs them dead. Touching your eyes or your mouth or your nose. Wash your hands before you do things like those. After you use the bathroom before preparing food, come on, wash your hand them clean.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, March 22. Persons seeking housing in Kingston and St. Andrew will soon have more options. That's as a result of yesterday's groundbreaking for a $4 billion 176-unit apartment complex called the Cambridge. Located on Musgrave Avenue in New Kingston, the complex is part of a $6 billion investment in the housing sector over the past 2 years by Guardian Life. Prime Minister Andrew Holness used the groundbreaking to challenge investors to assist in the transformation of Kingston, which he says is underutilized.
The truth is that Kingston's carrying capacity in terms of population could be well over 1 million people. Could be well over 1 million. But the truth is that half of the population almost leaves every night and comes in every morning. What you want for a city, for it to be vibrant and growing, you want the population to live, eat, sleep, play, do business right here.
Sitting on 3 acres of property, the Cambridge will boast a swimming pool, tennis court, gym, and jogging trail. 320 new jobs are expected to be created during the construction phase, which will take place over the next 2 years. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is now in the American state of Florida for a Caribbean Leaders Summit with the country's President Donald Trump. Talks will center on security cooperation, the potential opportunities for energy investment, the Venezuelan crisis, and Chinese presence in the region. Before his departure Thursday, the Prime Minister was briefed on security matters by heads of the Jamaica Constabulary and the Defense Forces. Mr. Holness is joined in the U.S. by National Security Minister Horace Chang and the Office of the Prime Minister's Director of Communications, Robert Morgan. The Caribbean Leaders Summit, which is being held at Mar-a-Lago, will see U.S. officials and leaders from the Bahamas, Dominican Republic, Haiti, and St. Lucia in attendance. Minister of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries, Audley Shaw, is in charge of the government until the Prime Minister returns on Sunday. Staff at the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information have been reassured that the government will work with them to ensure continued public confidence in its operations. Minister Karl Samuda, who has interim oversight of the portfolio, gave the vote of confidence yesterday as he met with the staff. Mr. Samuda commended the workers for their great service to the education sector. He revealed that his focus will be on identifying any weakness in general management, procurement, or other areas. The minister told the staff that if any such weaknesses were found, they would be addressed in accordance with good governance principles. Prime Minister Andrew Holness assigned Mr. Samuda to the ministry on Wednesday following the resignation of former Minister Ruel Reid. The United Kingdom's Department for International Development, DFID, has donated $51 million to the Justice Ministry to assist with streamlining court services. The allocation will allow for restructuring the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution by transferring more than 60 clerk of courts to that office. The Justice Ministry signed a memorandum of understanding on Wednesday to allow for these changes in the island's courts.
So the idea now of the clerk of courts being taken out of administrative duties and just concentrating on prosecutorial work means that not only will cases be better organized, better prosecuted, but better outcomes will result.
Minister Chuck says the move will assist with the case backlog in our courts.
DFID is very keen on ensuring that cases move through the system very speedily, especially matters concerning corruption, matters concerning various money laundering, and these are sadly too often in our courts. But this is important for us to send a signal to the corrupt and to the launderers that we are going after them.
Beneficiaries under the National Insurance Scheme will be able to apply for funeral grants online starting April 1. Permanent Secretary in the Labour and Social Security Ministry, Colette Roberts-Risden, made the announcement on behalf of the Portfolio Minister recently. She says this will be part of a pilot for the automated application process for funeral grants.
We are going to be piloting that process at our Ripon Road office, and by the end of the year we will have ironed out all the kinks so that when persons make their funeral grant applications, we will be able to make that payment within 2 weeks.
Applicants should have all the necessary information and documents in advance so that processing may be done speedily. Mrs. Roberts-Risden was speaking at the recent Bureau of Standards Jamaica and the National Consumers League event for World Consumer Rights Day. And finally, the Education Ministry is partnering with the Mico University College to host the Caribbean's first International Mathematics Teaching Summit. The summit, which will take place from March 25 to 27, will be held under the theme Mathematics for Sustainable Economic Growth and Job Creation. President of Mico, Dr. Asburn Pinnock, says the summit will engage math experts from Eastern countries such as Finland, Japan, Singapore, New Zealand, Australia, the United Kingdom, and the United States.
We also understand that there's a close link between mathematical concept and mastering mathematical concepts and skills and economic development of countries. And we have seen where these countries that we speak of that are doing so well in mathematics also are doing very well in economic development.
Dr. Pinnock was speaking at a recent JIS think tank. He says the presenters are from some of the top countries in the program for International Student Assessment, PISA. The summit is just one of the ministry's activities for National Mathematics Week 2019, which will take place March 24 to 29. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Justice to the people of Jamaica.
I am Delroy Chuck, Minister of Justice. The plea bargain legislation has been passed. Many persons charged with serious crimes are spending several years behind bars. It did not have to happen. Accept responsibility for your wrongdoing. Get a lighter sentence. Watch your children grow. Please, don't gamble with your future.
A message from the Minister of Justice.
You've heard it time and time again that a person can live about a month without food, but only about a week without water. If we do not consume enough water, dehydration is a sure thing. But it's not as easy as it sounds. Not all water is safe for consumption. Here's how the authorities are making sure our water is safe for drinking.
The human body cannot function without water. While you may live for up to 3 weeks without food, you cannot go more than a week without water. From breaking down the food we eat so the body can use it, to helping us heal when we get sick, water is needed for almost every process that takes place in the body. And although 70% of the Earth's surface is covered with water, drinking it directly from seas, rivers, wells, or aqueducts may make you sick. Untreated water contains bacteria and other germs, as well as chemicals that may be dangerous to the body. So in order to get the water from here to here safely, it has to be treated. Water treatment processes differ depending on the source. If the water is coming from a river, for example here at the Negro River in St. Thomas, it usually goes through an extensive treatment process before reaching the pipe.
Here is where we do the first type of treatment in the form of sedimentation and screening. Behind me you can see where we screen the bigger stuff like the sticks, the stones and debris. Then we come down to the sediment where we separate the sand from the stones. And then this water will leave from St. Thomas and pipe into Kingston via pipeline into the Mona Reservoir.
The Mona Reservoir is the island's largest raw water storage facility and provides the liquid to over 30% of people living in Kingston and St. Andrew. If this is where you get your water, here is where the next step in the treatment process occurs.
Here in the reservoir, we allow for maximum levels of mixing, maximum levels of aeration, as can be done here at the facility. We also, at the reservoir, you allow for settling out of the silt and the suspended particles, dirt particles, that would otherwise be in the raw water. We then take the water from the reservoir and take it to the Mona treatment plant.
At the treatment plant, chemicals are added to further purify the water. Chlorine is first added to kill bacteria.
You have stages that include flocculation, where we actually add chemicals to the water that allow those microscopic dirt particles that are still in the water to be brought together in what we call flocks, and then we are able to skim it off and remove it from the water.
The water is then passed through filters which contain layers of sand, gravel, charcoal or synthetic materials that remove remaining small particles. The final stage is disinfection. Here, chlorine is added to kill any other bacteria or germ.
Ensuring that we have what we refer to as chlorine residual that goes with the water, so that as the water travels along the pipeline to our customers, should it come in contact with any germs along the way, there is enough chlorine residual in that water to destroy those germs and still be delivered to the customer in good quality.
The water is tested all throughout the treatment process to ensure that what you get in your pipe meets World Health Organization standards.
For several years running, the National Water Commission has won the best tasting water in the Caribbean. We have also been acknowledged by the various arms of the United Nations at different points in time as having one of the best quality water in the hemisphere.
That is definitely something we can drink to.
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No dash, no paper, no dash, no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where they fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your eat.
Keep the island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica.
In just 5 days, the winner of government's Houses of Parliament design competition will be declared. Over 200 submissions were made for the design of the new building to house the legislative arm of the state. It is to be constructed at National Heroes Park, and after vigorous vetting, only 5 entries are left standing. Here is a look at one of them, Ubuntu. And since we're celebrating World Water Day, it's good to note that this design proposes to construct retention ponds that will be used to irrigate the entire park. Interesting, right? Here's more.
It became official on May 12, 2017.
We are going to do it. We're going to build this parliament. And we're going to do it the right way.
This process includes a design competition, engaging Jamaican architects to design the new Parliament building to be constructed in the National Heroes Park. The more than 200 entries received were shortlisted to 24 from which 5 finalists were selected. They are now contending for the position of producing the ultimate design. The teams had to build and present a functional prototype of their designs to a panel of 8 jurors led by Chairman Mark Raymond.
We're going first, and so we're raising the bar real high. We're actually very confident in how we've put the building together. We've done our homework, and we're going to hit this one out of the park.
Ubuntu is an African philosophy. The word comes from the Bantu language, meaning humanity. It translates to I am because we are.
The building has 2 entries on either side. We decided to give the building spirit, and so we focused on making it Jamaican, and the building now will tell the story of the Jamaican people. So these screens tell the story for our people. They're protecting the building, they're telling the story. They also help in the sustainable performance of the building in terms of reducing the solar gain on the building. In this particular building, we chose to use the configuration of a courtyard, so the building becomes 2 courtyards juxtaposed against each other to allow maximum light and ventilation on the inside, also reducing the energy and increasing the performance of the building. Now, we have 2 chambers, Senate and Parliament, and we've done them quite differently. These are images of the internal Parliament. Now, you're looking straight ahead at the Speaker. We actually made it circular, and also we divided the circle into 3 equal sectors, allowing the Speaker, the opposition and governance to actually view each other and speak to each other equally. The space which you're seeing now is actually a multi-purpose space. We actually envision exhibitions happening here, town hall meetings, and other events happening in this particular space. It's also naturally lit. This is just a spatial layout of the entire park. We have 4 zones. Zone 1 essentially is the public park. It helps to serve all the community, as is right now in terms of football, basketball, all those things. We decided to keep all of that but make a smaller area. Zone 2 is where the Parliament building is. And of course, Zone 3, we have the monuments and so on. Of course, we're thinking about creating different monuments and memorials. This is actually where we're envisioning our Mayalins to actually put their sculptures and memorials. The 4th zone essentially also is public as well, where you have playground for the kids, you have a visitor center. This is where all the buses will come and to actually begin to enjoy the park. We have further need for public parking. What we have done is to create an underground parking garage on the other side. We decided to create retention ponds to actually store the water from the wells which are there, and actually to use that in terms of irrigation and so on for the entire park.
With this information, the jurors will deliberate and make their recommendation to decide on a winner.
We await their judgment, but we're not going to enter a race without the confidence of trying to win the race or think that we can win the race, and that's what we hope will be the outcome. We put in the work, so I feel quite good, and it's a solid project. It expresses what we intended it to express, and I think it conveys a message as well as the message of the people. It is an opportunity of several lifetimes, and that's why we entered. So it's not just what it means to me, it is what it means to the group, what it means to Jamaica, to have a building of this nature, to be designed by a local team, an all-local team.
So you just saw the Ubuntu design for the new Parliament building and how it seeks to tell the story of the Jamaican people. Speaking of which, the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport has allocated over $4 billion in its 2019-2020 estimates of expenditure to pursue programs and policies that will build and promote the story, culture, creativity and talent of our Jamaican people. Watch this.
I'm committed to providing the Women's Center with the resources needed to deliver on its mandate to have the girls complete their secondary education.
That commitment will be facilitated by a $25 million allocation in the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sports capital budget this fiscal year. This $25 million will be used to construct a Women's Center of Jamaica Outreach Center in Santa Cruz, St. Elizabeth. The facility will boost the enrollment of adolescent mothers and increase the number of teen mothers being reintegrated into the formal school system. But this is just one way in which government will be supporting vulnerable women and girls this fiscal year. $527.1 million has been earmarked in the recurrent budget to support agencies that develop and implement policies and programs that fight inequality, discrimination and gender-based violence.
You have my commitment as your Minister of Gender Affairs to continue working at the interministerial level and to do my part in my personal space, as well as with the strength of my team to tackle head-on the monster of gender-based violence.
Sports development is another area of focus for the ministry this year. $897.3 million has been set aside to continue the promotion, development and implementation of sporting activities at the community and parish levels. Of that amount, $373.6 million will be used to support the management and maintenance of two national sporting facilities, Independence Park Limited and the Trelawney Stadium. $149.5 million will go towards the operations of the Institute of Sport, which is responsible for coordinating and developing sporting programs at the community and national levels. Another $150.1 million will help organizations purchase and distribute sporting equipment to clubs, primary schools, and other community and sporting enterprises.
We understand the value of sports in the process of national development, and we are determined that sports must play a part in delivering prosperity to the Jamaican people.
To help deliver on this commitment, $214 million is earmarked to support the anti-doping program of the JADCO. Another $9.2 million will support the Anti-Doping Disciplinary and Appeal Tribunal, while $589,000 will fund Jamaica's contribution to the World Anti-Doping Agency.
Keeping sport clean for us here in Jamaica is a must. The matter begs no debate. Our sporting performances must be untarnished. It must be so to protect the gains that we have made and to safeguard the integrity of those future gains.
Government has also earmarked huge portions of the recurrent budget to the culture and entertainment sectors.
Everything is gonna be all right. Everything is gonna be all right.
Support will go towards the Entertainment Policy and Management Division of the Ministry, which is responsible for the development of the entertainment sector. And $2.3 billion will continue the promotion of our art and culture. Of this amount, $1.8 billion will be used to identify, preserve, and display local heritage, while $66.9 million will provide assistance to culture agencies that develop, protect, and preserve Jamaica's tangible and intangible heritage.
love waking up every day in this country. This is where I was born and raised. I have such a passion for my country, and for me, this is home. In Jamaica, a lot of people, they look at just like beach, sea, sand, but our mountains are something to behold. It's majestic up there, and it's a different type of peace. It's a different type of lifestyle completely. I could mention many different places that are amazing, but the one thing I do love about Jamaica as well is that you can find that relaxation, you can find that chill in your backyard. Apart from it being an incredibly beautiful country, an incredibly beautiful island, we have a wonderful, wonderful culture, wonderful, vibrant, colorful people. There is definitely a realness to Jamaica. There's definitely something that no matter what keeps you in touch with reality here. Why come to Jamaica? It all comes back down to Jamaica as a whole. The food, the music, the culture, the people, the climate. Come out and meet us, come out and experience what Jamaica has to offer.
The theme for this year's World Water Day is Leave No One Behind. This basically means that everyone must have access to the liquid for consumption and use. Goal 6 of the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development includes a target to ensure availability and sustainable management of water for all by the year 2030. We can all play a part in helping to ensure that more people in Jamaica and the world have access to safe and clean water. We can start with not wasting what we have and conserving water on a daily basis by using only what's needed or necessary. We can also reuse and recycle the water we use in our households, such as utilizing that which is used in rinsing the dishes to also feed our plants. Another great idea is to ensure that we do not pollute our waterways, such as our rivers, lakes and streams, because they are our ultimate source of water. If we all play our part, we'll be helping to make Jamaica the place of choice for people to live, work, raise families, and do business. This is the final stop in today's magazine. Thanks for journeying with us. To watch today's program again, simply visit our website, jis.gov.jm. Don't forget that you're able to follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. I'm Audrey. Have a great weekend.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.